Welcome back to Pro Boxing Fans. Immediate reaction to Moses Itauma knocking out Jermaine Franklin in the fifth round, and really it's just Itauma doing Itauma things. A peach of an uppercut which completely laid Franklin flat on his face, and no one has ever done that to the American before. Let's not forget who he's been in with: Anthony Joshua, Dillian White. You could argue maybe not at their absolute prime, but Jermaine Franklin has proved that he's been durable in the past. Now here tonight, I thought that in the opening round, obviously Moses came out like a freight train, and I think the speed and the accuracy really shocked Franklin, but he stood firm under the pressure, and then right at the end of the round, his legs seemed to buckle. I can't remember if it was a left hand that landed, but it almost seemed like going into the second round whether Franklin could withstand any more of the pressure. I felt like in the second round, Franklin sort of changed up his approach and started to trade with Itauma, which seemed like a pretty dangerous game. And obviously in the third round, that's where Itauma got the breakthrough. He landed a right hand right on the top of the head of Franklin, and he hit the deck. I don't even know if Franklin's been dropped before, but he got up well, and by the fourth round, I felt like he had his best round. I thought he really regained his composure, and he was causing, I'm not sure problems is the right word, but he was giving Moses a lot to think about. He was in and out on range. He was slipping shots, and when he did take a shot, he wasn't overawed by Moses. And I felt like a lot of fighters so far in Moses' career, as soon as Moses lands, the fight's almost over. But with Franklin tonight, I thought he showed durability, but he was just outmatched and overpowered by the younger, fresher, quicker man. And it's a big win for Moses. Obviously, in the fifth round, it was an uppercut, and Franklin looked completely dazed by it. And as he was going down, I think a right hand sort of grazed him, and he landed flat on his face, and that was all she wrote. I believe they were saying on DAZN commentary that Franklin's corner were protesting the stoppage, but he can have absolutely no complaints. It was a heavy knockdown, and Moses marches on. I'm sure we'll see Franklin again. I think he did his job. He gave Moses rounds. He gave us some answers tonight that Moses isn't completely invincible, but the way he dealt with it certainly shows that he's probably the best prospect in world boxing. I don't even know if he's a prospect anymore. He's number one contender to both Fabio Wardley, who obviously he won't fight because they're stablemates, and Alexander Usyk, which I'd absolutely love to see. Daniel Dubois was ringside as well. Be interesting to see if Dubois wins against Wardley, whether Frank Warren would want to make that fight. Obviously, two of his top heavyweights. But Moses was pretty coy after the fight about who he wants next. Ade Oladipo was trying to sort of push him and get him to call someone out, but he wasn't really giving us the name. Maybe we wanted him to say Usyk or something like that. But he did mention he wanted to fight Hrgovic, which would be another good step in the right direction towards that world heavyweight title shot. But Frank Warren said that he'll be back in July probably, and let's see who they pick. I don't think it's going to be a Daniel Dubois. I don't think it's going to be obviously Usyk. He's fighting May 23rd against Rico Verhoeven. But even after that, I don't think he said he has no interest. Fury said he's got no interest. Don't think Joshua's going to fight him. So it's going to be interesting. The fight I would like to see would be Martin Bakole. I think that is a real danger. I think Bakole is underestimated. I think he proved against Jared Anderson how much of a threat he is, and he hasn't really. I know he had the Joseph Parker fight, but that was obviously on a couple of days' notice. He wasn't really in shape, or he hadn't had enough notice for that fight. But I think on his day, Martin's a very dangerous fight. I would definitely back Moses to get the win in that one, but I think Bakole could cause him problems, and I think he deserves an opportunity. And let's see who they pick next. But yeah, Moses Itauma with a brilliant finish, and we know that the sky is the limit for him. But I think tonight showed us that, there are going to be some fighters that, are not overruled by him. I felt like Franklin gave it his best shot. He showed some ambition, after that knockdown in the third round. I think, I was potentially expecting that to be it. But, he really wanted a win tonight and he just didn't have enough. But, yeah, let's see what happens next. Let me know in the comments what you thought of Itauma tonight and who you want to see him fight next.